Okay, welcome back to the channel. Exciting Taylormade Iron Week continues.
Yep.
We've got our first test, first look. P770 is next on the docket. I was immediately really impressed. What was your first reaction?
My immediate reaction was this is the one that's just going to be the one on everyone's lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I thought that to me is the iron that everyone's been waiting for from Taylormade. And I think maybe some people would maybe not agree with me and say the MC is that one, but I think way more people will play 770. The MC is probably for a smaller segment of the market.
Yeah, I think so, Matty. I mean, obviously, this is the direct replacement of 760.
Yep.
Which was played on tour. Jason Day, you know, was the kind of poster boy for that particular iron.
Yeah.
But in the fitting market and the wider market of where the consumer lies, this is more in the wheelhouse for the consumer.
Definitely.
This is a kind of a technology-packed, slightly smaller, visually more pleasing version of a 790, which it ticks every box in terms of what the meat of the bell curve is going to be asking for in terms of performance and visuals.
The first thing someone says to you if they're resistant to P790, is it size, top line, offset, those types of things?
They firstly discuss the how hot they are.
Mm-hmm.
They say, will these not go too far? Well, they might. 26 degree 6 iron may well go too far.
Right.
But I think with the traditional lofts that come in the 770s, 29 degree 6 iron is by no means strong in today's standard.
Not even close.
Not even close.
I honestly think I would call that modern traditional at this point.
I mean, you look at a super popular iron that we've obviously enjoyed, the 785s, 765, 28 degrees on the 6 iron.
Yep.
So these are weaker than that. So I'll be really curious at the players that we get into these. On the Taylormade's own database, they've seen +4 handicappers to 25 handicappers playing 790s.
Right.
This tells me that the 770 with the package they've got in this could go in the bag of some tour players, especially the long irons.
Yeah,
no question.
I was surprised by how narrow the sole looked. And I don't mean it's narrow, but it looks like a player's shape.
Definitely.
And obviously at address, it's really sharp. I don't think there'd be too many people who'd be displeased with how it looks.
100%. I mean, I put the 790 UDI in the bag this year, and I've got the 4 iron here. There's a 3 iron just over there, and I look at these going, these are great looking long irons, and they are small enough, but look forgiving enough.
Yeah.
They just look like they're kind of. I just say it all the time with these. They tick every box.
And it's still what I think people love about P790 is the fact that it isn't really something that has a visible cavity. It's all hollow. So in the bag, I mean, it kind of looks like a blade, obviously, right?
So it really does.
That appeal it's hard to beat that appeal, really.
Yeah. Still giving us the ability to bend them, Matty, with the forged body.
Yep.
So we love that from a fitting perspective. Obviously, speed slot in the sort of long and mid irons, stopping at the 8 iron and onwards.
Right.
So you've got what you need. You've got that face contribution, face flex for additional ball speed. Where you might, we saw in the testing you just done with the MC, couple snuck low in the blade.
Yes.
That one will be protected on the 770, and I think that's why you'll see a lot of combo options.
It's a prime example of why I would consider it for myself. I'd go, okay, well, we're hitting some 7 and 6 irons. I really lost out on those low strikes.
Yeah.
770 looks great. It flows nicely in the set. Why don't I just start the MC at the 8 iron if I really want to play this smaller?
You definitely could. Little triple combo even, for a couple of long irons in the 770s, the MCs in the middle and towards the shorts, and then, finish off with a couple of blades in the 9 and the wedge potentially.
Why not?
Lots of different ways you can go with this based on how they're designed.
So probably one of our favorite parts of this review is going to be we have a full set of irons.
Yeah.
So you're going to
hit
rare
some thing for us.
It's great. I mean, it's so good.
It's part of our new test criteria when we get clubs from manufacturers now. We don't want 6 irons. We don't want to just hit 6 irons.
We want them all, yeah.
No, we got to test them because we are talking about attributes that are progressive and they flow through the bag. So we don't want to just talk about it, we want to test it, because the only way we can vouch for it is if it tests and shows up, and then we can obviously tell you guys, whether it's legit or maybe it's a little bit blown out of proportion.
Yeah, for sure. So let's start you with some pitching wedges, and then we've got a 7 iron and a 4 iron.
Definitely doesn't feel overly quick off the face.
Okay, so not jumpy?
No, not jumpy. We'll be looking at obviously spin rates for for this type of head, and that's something that people used to hold against 790 when they talked about, you know, flyers and jumpers. It's ball speed and spin retention. Those two, sort of making sure that these irons have those. So we will look out for that as we go along.
And feel-wise, probably P790, you did occasionally hear people think they were a bit firm in feel. So if this is kind of maybe the softer version of that, that would be pretty popular too.
Yeah.
It's a good swing. So I'm just looking at the offset charts. So you've basically got identical offset from, well, certainly in the wedge within 0.1 millimeter.
Yeah.
So 8-iron, 9-iron pitching wedge are more or less the same in offset as the MCs.
Right.
So I think people will really like the look of those in the short irons. It's not something where it looks game improvement style at all.
It really doesn't. The top line is where you'll see the difference.
Yep. Thicker.
Yeah, definitely thicker than the MC. That's why I can almost see those two stretched away from one another. There almost looks like there's two categories. There's kind of one piece forged, and then there's the tech products.
Gotcha. Swing. How's that feeling so far?
It feels good. Feels really good.
And I've given you TP5X, which is on the firmer side too.
Yeah.
And you're still getting.
Do you know what? That's a good point. I was thinking
feel.
there about the. I was thinking about the spin rate and the feel.
Yeah. Swing. Tell you what, that's got some pop. As soon as you hit it, like it sounds mashed. Swing, yeah, a little gentle fade. Good swing.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Jeez, it really does.
Sounds really good.
Again, I don't think it sounds like a blade, nor should it. It's got some definite pop to it. It sounds like you really smoked it, which, I mean, you did. That's fast.
Yeah, that's quick.
Oh, yeah.
That's similar to the last one.
Really nice.
It's definitely softer than a 790.
And I think a lot of people right away will go, ooh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Definitely is. I mean, I probably wouldn't put it quite in the category of how soft a 760 felt.
Okay.
That was quite soft.
Soft, yeah.
It was soft. It was the first thing we noticed when we tested that, was how soft it was. This feels like a little bit more techy, but see if there's anything else in the market that's kind of similar. I can't think of anything. I mean, dare I say it, PXG.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit towards that.
I think that's a feel most people associate with being kind of desirable, no?
For the category that it's aimed at, the player, some people might talk to you about the top line.
Interesting, okay.
I wonder if they maybe could have angled that a little bit more.
I guess at a certain point, because it's hollow, I see they've kind of beveled it a little bit.
They have done a little bit, yeah. You're absolutely right. I mean,
it's probably a fine line, right? Like if at a certain point the top line gets too thin, then someone looks at it that it's intended for and goes, ooh, the iron's a bit small.
And I'm not the target market.
No.
You know, that's the other part. I'm going, what would I change?
Well, the 4-iron, you are the target market.
I know.
So I'm curious how you think that is. But I mean, it's not an unfair assessment. I don't think people should look at it going, oh, it's all of a sudden looks like a blade. I don't think it's intended to, really, nor should it.
Yeah. I enjoy hitting them. I can tell you that for sure.
See that
I can really enjoy hitting them. They feel awfully nice. You'd have a hard job prizing out my hand and a fit and giving me something that would better it.
Let's see one more and then we'll hit a long iron. Yeah, it's so nice. It's a powerful sound for sure.
It does sound well hit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just looks like you're easily getting the number that we just set out there. It's, a 187 iron is probably a little bit more than you might want generally, but you're just swinging comfortably. You got lots of spin.
Yeah.
There's really nothing there that.
I mean, from an efficiency standpoint, we can't say that the club is contributing in excess.
No.
To the point where you're going to start worrying about them.
It's 129, right?
129 smash or efficiency on a 7-iron would be bang on between 129, 132.
And so when you talk about people being worried about flyers and low spinners, I think they've got it right because the loft is more traditional. That's always the biggest factor anyway.
For sure.
Then all the tech is still there to give you ball speed, but it's not, it's not ball speed just because the loft is shorter, or stronger, I should say.
The people who know me and sort of have seen me doing a little bit of testing on the channel know that a 7-iron at 6,000 RPMs is really desirable for me.
It's tons, and I think if anyone's looking at that and is wondering, oh, how would that ball stop? 51-degree land angle on the last one, and you averaged 51.
That's so true.
So you're hitting 7-irons that stop like a dart, basically, all day. You wouldn't want to spin it more than that.
No.
For any reason.
No.
You got lots of ball speed.
Well, we said 212 on the carry number.
Yep.
That's exactly what that carried. Nice 17 launch.
Jeez. Yeah, almost 4,000 spin too.
I mean, that would be something I would hit that shot off the tee.
I was going to say that's kind of a short par 4, fly at 220-ish.
Yeah.
Roll it out to 240. That's cool. So
Doubling
you basically
up.
just went launch angle down.
Yeah, look at the spin.
Spin is still good, but your ball speeds jump just from de-lofting it. Yeah, good swing. That's high.
Yeah.
High and long. You could fly that 220 comfortably.
Yeah. Give you the option if you.
That's literally a 220 club.
Yeah.
This is not what I expected though. Like you've spun every 4-iron at 4,000.
Every single one.
So then the question becomes, what is the downside? You've flown that 132 feet in the air. What?
Crazy.
So there's plenty of launch angle.
It's really quick. It retains all the spin.
And if you want to drop the launch, you just drop the launch. You flighted one at 100 feet because you wanted
100
to.
feet, yeah.
And a stock one flew probably 20 feet higher than you would normally fly for.
That's nuts.
I mean, what do you say? There's no, and it looks really good.
Looks, sounds, feels as good as you would want.
Wow.
There's just going to be a lot of players, you know, the senior golfer maybe, the player who's, I don't want to say distance challenged because it's making me put this in a distance category again, but it's not. But I just think it contributes to distance really well, but keeping that flight that the good players are going to be looking for.
Anyone who wants to hit the ball a little higher and still retain the speed, I don't see why you wouldn't.
You know, you look in the LPGA Tour and you can see a bunch of the girls really gravitating towards this. I mean, even, you know, I know Lindsay's a Taylormade staff player, so I can really see her getting excited about these. I mean, one of the things, she hits the ball quite flat, so I remember when we done her testing with the 790s, she's kind of looking over at me going, is that okay? Like she was looking for the green light. It's like, is that enough? And you're kind of like, you know, you're on the edge whether it's high enough. So these for a Lindsay type of player would be perfect.
There's every indication that this gives you the speed that you probably want while keeping the spin that you'd be looking for.
Just looking at that progression of height and as that's went, you've got the kind of short irons that are penetrating and forward flying, nice of average flight on the mid irons, and then the ability to hit the long irons either up or down.
That's what people are looking for.
It's great, isn't it?
It really is. Wow.
Really is. Well, hats off. I mean, this is a winner, and it's going to be a juggernaut. It really is going to be an absolute juggernaut. People are going to want to try this at every category. Scratch, mid handicappers, probably some higher handicappers who'll take a look and go, I'll give that a try.
Yeah. Worst case, I would say just about every player could play them at least part of their set.
Yeah.
Whether you played them all the way through or as a combo, as part of a combo set with P790s, obviously would combo up great with that. No reason why not.
Yeah. All the tech you could want. Big old tungsten plug in the toe for the additional stability, the speed foam, the speed slot in the bottom there for a little bit more face flex. It's good.
Some good stuff.
Really good.
Okay. Well, obviously you can tell that we're pretty impressed.
Yeah.
We've just got blades to go.
Just got the blade. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it. Going the contrast of this, where the contribution is significant to the strike, taking away all those technical sort of benefits and going straight up.
Well, we'll be talking to a different player at that point, right?
Yeah.
The player that wants to play blades will be looking for more consistency, distance control, flight characteristics. So But needless to say, I think a ton of people will want to try this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Impressed. Very impressed.
Okay, well, stay tuned for the blade review coming soon. We've got driving iron reviews coming soon.
Yeah, UDI.
We've got wedge review coming soon, so tons more to come.
Tons.
All right, thanks for watching.